Well, ahoy there. We're going to jump right into ratios, which is 5.1. So this is a great time to take some notes. Basically, a ratio is a comparison of two or more quantities. Ratios can be part to part to whole, or whole to part comparisons. Now we'll go through what that means in a second. So for example, if we have our crayons over here, there's 2 red crayons to 6 blue crayons. There's 1 red crayon for every 3 blue crayons. Those are examples of ratios. And the order is important. So a ratio of 1 red crayon to 3 blue crayons is different than a ratio of 3 to 1. And we'll get there as we go through some examples. So the ratio of A to B, algebraically, can be written as A colon B. So normally ratios are written as a number, then a colon, and then the other number, or sometimes as a fraction. All right, so let's jump into some examples. I'll put myself maybe here. Yeah, okay. So what you're going to do when you're doing 5.1, it helps to make some diagrams sometimes. These are called tape diagrams. So for example, if you're going to draw a diagram that shows every 4 pencils, there's 9 pens, you could just do like label this pencils, draw 4 boxes, pens, 9 boxes. The main thing is try to make the boxes like equal size. There you go. Every 15 girls, there's 11 boys. So you do the 15 girls and the 11 boys, and there you can compare them. So these are called tape diagrams. I'm not going to go through all of them, but like for every bowl, there's 21 pretzels. You do 1 bowl and then 21 pretzels. All right, so those are examples of tape diagrams. Those can be used when you're solving ratios. So let's jump into some of these. Let me move myself out of the way here. Now, I know most of you probably don't deal with a lot of cash anymore. It's all digital. But these little copper guys here, these are pennies. The small silver ones are dimes, and the big ones are quarters. So what is the ratio of pennies to quarters? All right, if you said 6 to 7, you are correct, because there's 6 pennies, and if you count them up, there are 7 quarters. All right, and remember, the order is important. So if it's the ratio of pennies to quarters, it's 6 to 7, not 7 to 6. What's the ratio of quarters to dimes? Oh, wait, there we go. All right, quarters to dimes is 7 to 3. There are 7 quarters and 3 dimes. That is different than 3 to 7, 7 to 3. So again, order is very important. And the last one, what's the ratio of dimes to the total number of coins? Okay, so there are 3 dimes. There are a total of 16 coins. Therefore, the ratio is 3 to 16. Okay, so that's some ratio stuff. And now let's move into how to use ratios. So your ratio of your monthly allowance to your friend's monthly allowance is 5 to 3. What that means is that for every $5 you get, your friend gets $3. And the order, again, is important. So it says the ratio of your allowance to your friend's allowance, meaning that yours is the 5 and your friend's is the 3. Same order. Okay, the monthly allowance is total $40. How much is each allowance? Okay, I just want you to kind of work this one out, see what you come up with, and then we'll go through how to do it. All right, so to help solve this problem, it helps to draw this little tape diagram thing. So for you, you get 5 for every 3 that your friend gets, 5 parts to every 3 parts. So knowing that the whole thing represents $40, there are 8 parts total, 40 divided by 8. Each part is 5. So that tells you that your 5 parts, 5 times 5 is 25. Your friend's 3 parts, 3 times 5 is 15. That will give you the exact totals of the $40 using the ratios. Therefore, your monthly allowance is 25. Your friend's monthly allowance is 15. Sometimes it'll ask you how much more is your allowance than your friend's, in which case then you would subtract those and you'd be like, oh, I make 10 more in my allowance. Okay, so that's an example how to solve. These tape diagrams are super helpful. So let's jump into this one. You separate 42 bulbs of garlic into 2 groups. I mean, who doesn't? 1 for planting and 1 for cooking. You will plant 3 bulbs for every 4 bulbs that you cook. Each bulb has about 8 cloves. How many cloves will you plant? Ooh, tricky one. All right, so try to solve this one. It might help to do some tree or tape diagrams. Good luck. All right, let's go through how to do this. So the ratio of 3 to 4, you plant 3 for every 4 that you cook. And remember, there's 42 bulbs total. So you do 42 divided by all 7 parts, telling you that each part is 6. So that means that you're going to plant 18, you're going to cook 24 out of the 42. But then it goes on to say that each bulb is 18 cloves. How much will you plant? So there are, or 8, it said 8. There are 18 bulbs that you're planting. That's these 3 groups of 6. And each of those has 8 cloves. So you do 18, which are these ones here, times 8, 144 cloves. All right, that is about as tricky as you're going to see when you're working through your big ideas. So you're going to plant 144 cloves. And if you can do this problem, then ratios are going to be a cinch for you. All right, so let's do a quick little assessment. I'm going to show you the types of questions that you're going to be asked. So sometimes you're going to give, they're going to give you the information in a table like this one. So it's telling you that for a dog, there are 12 dogs that were sold. I'm assuming at a pet store. There's 9 cat, 17 fish, and 5 birds. Let's say that we want a ratio of cats to dogs. You just look at the table. So the ratio of cats to dogs is 9 to 12 in that order, which later on you're going to learn, oh, that simplifies to 3 to 4. We don't have to worry about the simplifying quite yet. Okay, so I want you to look at this table. See if you can answer this 4th question. What is the ratio of cats to all animals sold? Okay, so there are 9 cats. You have to add up all of these to get a total of 43 animals. So the ratio of cats to animals sold is 9 to 43. All right, so take a look at those other answers and see if they all make sense based on the table. And then we're going to move on to our last little thing we're going to do, and then you're going to be working on your big ideas. Okay, so this last one, here we have another tape diagram, and it represents the ratio of shirts to sweaters worn by students in a class. So what is the ratio of shirts to sweaters? If you said 3 to 2, you're correct, because there's 3 parts shirts, 2 parts sweaters. All right, now it tells you there are 10 sweaters. So what does each of these parts represent? Okay, so 10, there are 2 parts here. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So each part represents 5. All right, so then the final question, how many shirts are there? Okay, and there are 15 shirts because each part represents 5. So we have 5, 10, 15 shirts, 10 sweaters. There we go. You are now ready to do 5.1 on big ideas. Today there's 5.1A. That's the standard one everyone's going to do. And then we have spring break. And then after spring break, there's going to be a 5.1B. That one will have a mild and spicy. So today your job is to do 5.1A and then enjoy your spring break. And email me if you have any questions. And good luck. And I'll see you after spring break. All right. Adios, pirates.